Or hi everyone, I think the microphone is working now. Today I'm going to talk about something a bit more different. I'm going to be a bit more developer focused and a bit more onboarding as well. So it's going to be about developer onboarding in Web3. Basically going to try and answer like how to get started in the Web3 ecosystem as a developer. And I guess this talk is like relevant for, of course, developers, but also people who are looking for developer communities, like if you're like want to recruit developers, which I think most people do, so where you can find those developers, how to get engaged. So that's kind of going to be the premise of the talk. And a bit about me, who am I? So I'm a developer advocate, and I am very interested in creating onboarding documents, like onboarding content for the Ethereum ecosystem. I didn't buy Bitcoin in 2014. I didn't buy it like even in 2018, 19, I think I was one of the latecomers into the space. I just entered last year. And I think there were like two different reasons for this. So first of all, it seemed so complex. Like there are too many new terms, new terminology, and I didn't give a background, but I'm a software engineer and I was working in technical sales before. So as a software engineer, it was hard for me to like understand all these technical concepts. And the second reason was I didn't see like a developer path. So as a developer, like where do I get started? What do I do next? Like where do I start to learn about stuff? And how can I earn money? So I think these were like the two parts which I did not see from before. And I'm coming to understand that there are like different ways to do this, and I'm going to try and talk about the one which I got into. So that's a bit about the background of the talk. So what are we going to talk about today? If we separate it into three sections, I'm going to basically talk about rapid prototyping, how to hit the ground running, right? There are like so many new complex terminology, and as a developer, I kind of just want to get my app running in like 10 minutes. I don't want to wait too much, so I just want to like see it working, my smart contract, like have my own chain, and how can I start this really fast. So I'm going to talk about developer tooling and how you can rapidly prototype on Ethereum. Secondly, I'm going to talk about Speedrun Ethereum, which is basically a set of challenges to learn about programming with Ethereum. It's special in a way that it's not only about learning the syntax, but it's more about learning the superpowers, right? Like why would you want to use Ethereum? Most people come and use it as like a very expensive and slow database. So like you can learn about what are the good use cases, right? Like we had some nice examples, the Rubik's Cube example, and other different examples where we talk about why you should actually use it for like financial transactions when you don't trust the third parties. And then last of all, I'm going to touch upon developer community, which is BiddleGiddle. I like to say Build Guild because it's complicated to say BiddleGiddle. But it's basically like a developer community building prototypes with the tools that I'm going to talk about. And it's kind of like an incentivization layer on top of rapid prototyping and Speedrun Ethereum, where you can enter as a developer and start earning money and also like contribute to the Ethereum ecosystem. And even before starting, can I see like a show of hands of developers? Like how many people here are developers? Okay, I think we have like a nice ratio. I would say 50%-ish. And it's more on the app development side, so not on the protocol development side. If we have time, maybe we can even do a live demo. I'm not sure if we will have time for that today, but if not, like we'll kind of see how we have time. So first of all, the tool that I want to talk about is Scaffold ETH. So as I said, like I think the two things were, okay, first of all, how do I get started as a developer? And second of all, there's too many new terms. How do I set this app running in like 10 minutes? And that's exactly what Scaffold ETH allows you to do. So it's a tool set for building decentralized applications where you basically have all the components inside your app, and you can just start to learn about Solidity by getting it all set up. So what happens is when you think about like a decentralized application, you have like different components to the stack, right? Like you need your smart contracts. Scaffold ETH has it Solidity contracts, and then you need to like have your own local chain, local blockchain. So thanks to Hardhat, that's what's powering your own local blockchain. And then we basically talk to the blockchain with ethers.js, and it's a React web application. So it's all these components all packed in one application. All you need to do is like basically clone the repo, get it set up. It takes like 10 minutes maximum to get everything set up. And the way it looks is, So when you start to run it, you basically have your smart contract and then you have your user interface. So what happens over here is as you make changes to your smart contract, you can just redeploy the contract and it will automatically get onto your user interface. So it gives you like a developer loop where you can start to make changes to your contract without like having to write all the tests and try it out over there. You basically just use the user interface, which automatically gets your functions and variables from your smart contract. And yeah, if we have time, we'll get to the demo as well. But it basically provides a developer loop in which you can just edit your smart contract, redeploy your smart contracts, and have it on your front end, do your testing. It gives like burner wallets. You know, one thing I didn't mention is accounts, right? Like it's a new concept in the Web3 ecosystem, how you have your accounts. So what burner wallets allow you to do is instead of like making every transaction with a MetaMask pop-up, you basically just have a built-in burner wallet generated by your hard hat accounts. So you don't have to like approve every transaction, wait for it to finalize. So it's kind of like an easy way to get started. Okay. So you mastered Scaffold ETH, you got it set up, you can like have your developer loop, you went to solidity.example.org, you learned about all the Solidity concepts, now what? Well, then you can go to Speedrun Ethereum, and it's a set of challenges where you learn about building web applications. And these are projects such as like creating an NFT collection, your own multi-sig, your own token vendor, DEX, etc. And I'm going to talk a bit more about the challenges. But you basically sign in, you can create your builder account, and you sign in with your wallet. It's a very Web3 native UI as well. But you sign in with your wallet, you can get these challenges, you submit your challenges, and as you progress through the challenges, they get harder, and you do get into like Telegram groups where you can get direct support. But basically, these challenges are there to teach you about what the blockchain is good for doing. Like it's not what you should be using it for, what are like the good use cases, and the superpowers of using the technology basically. And yeah, so the challenges go from like starting a simple NFT example, which is not really about coding at that point. It's just like getting Scaffold ETH set up and running very fast. And then you create your own decentralized staking app, token vendor, dice game. So for example, like the dice game teaches you about randomness on the blockchain, right? Like you should not be using block hash. It's super easily hackable. And you can learn that directly by doing the dice challenge. And then building a DEX, where you also learn about Uniswap, how the DEX actually works, and then multi-sig wallet, which I think is like very trivial right now as well. And then last of all, you get into like a bit more flexible challenge where you just kind of build an SVG NFT. An SVG NFT is just like a cool flex at this point. So it's kind of fun to like build it and try it out. And after you've completed Speedrun Ethereum, that's kind of where we will touch upon as well. And yeah, so as I mentioned, you sign in with your wallet, you register as a builder, and there are over 2,600 builders that have signed up and completed the challenges. So yeah, it's just a cool way. You can sign up, you can create your own profile, you basically add your projects over there. So as you build these applications, you add them to your profile. It's kind of like building your own Web3 portfolio. Like we see a lot of people like get jobs out of building their portfolio and all those kind of cool stuff. And then Biddle. Okay, so you've learned about Scaffold ETH, you've completed Speedrun Ethereum, and then we kind of want you to come and contribute back to the ecosystem. Like we want you to do more cool stuff with Scaffold ETH. Let's say you want to build your own starter kit. So those 6 challenges we talked about, or maybe a bit more, those challenges are all built with Scaffold ETH as well. So let's say like you have your own idea, you want to build like a Scaffold ETH and Lens starter kit. You can do that. You can go over to Biddle, you can submit it to your profile and start contributing to the ecosystem and earn money in like exchange for your time and contributions. So it's basically like the incentivization layer of all these tool sets. And yeah, it's a created group of Ethereum builders creating like all sorts of weird prototypes, games in the Web3 ecosystem. We're I think around like 500 people at this point. We have like bi-weekly Bowtie Friday meetings where we build and where we just like hang out on a Zoom call and show what we're building. It's a quite nice place where you can like you're flexible on building what products you want to do, and you also get together with like a group of builders where you can collaborate. You can kind of show off what you're building, like get direct feedback. So yeah, I think it's a pretty cool group. I'm part of it. I would love for more people to join, and if you're interested, do find me afterwards as well. But a bit more about Biddle. Okay, so how does my profile look like? This is actually my real profile, by the way. So for example, I have 2 builds. I just kind of built like a staking course design up by using Scaffold ETH. So what this is, it was just like a fun project for a hackathon where we used Scaffold ETH to build a course application where you have to stake Ethereum, like where you have to stake ETH to get access to the course, and you get your staked money back as you progress through it. So it kind of provides like incentives for free online courses. And that was just like a fun project for a hackathon. We didn't win, but it was really fun. And then yeah, I have my pool decks. But basically you submit your profile, you can see like I can earn a certain amount of ETH per month and how much balance I have, how much I can withdraw. It's really open. It's kind of like trust-based, but super open. So when you go and submit a project, you value your own work. But at the same time, you can see how everyone values, so you can kind of come to a conclusion from there. And then yeah, there are like a ton of builders. You can see like a couple of them over there. Again, this is my profile. And yeah, there are over 508 builders. I think this is a bit more. And then almost 44 ETH streamed to those builders. Again, it's based on your time commitment. There is not like a certain workplace where you have to work like 9 hours a week. It's more async and completely up to your schedule to see, okay, I want to build a prototype a week, submit it, get rewards based on that, or kind of, yeah, very flexible according to the builder. We also see like lots of people being hired to like really great organizations after completing the program as well. So I think there are like different ways to go. You can say, I want to build my own tools, I want to stay at Build Guild. You can say, I want to like go to a very big company, continue over there. But there are like different directions you can take. And yeah, so if you remember one thing from the talk, I hope that is to go to speedrunethereum.com. If you're a builder, please go there. If you know like a developer, you can just tell your developer friends to go there. But it will give you all the resources. You can check out like how to get started with Scaffold ETH, what Build Guild is, how to join. Again, joining is like super flexible. After you complete Speedrun Ethereum, you just need to contribute to the ecosystem by creating your own starter kit, your own content. For me, I'm obsessed with content. I just really enjoy like creating my own tools and just writing content about it. So that's kind of my contributions, and I am a part of like more involved in Build Guild and actively like I'm one of the core members over there, kind of creating prototypes, engaging with builders. So if you are interested, we'd love to chat. And yeah, thank you for the presentation. I don't know how much time I have, but it's gone. Okay, I have like 10 minutes. It was a short one.
Thank you very much, Eda. It was a very nice talk. I'm personally very passionate about education. I really love Eda's content as well. If you've not checked out her blog, I would really recommend it. But for now, do we have any questions from the audience?
From your experience, what's the best way to keep on track? You see there are developers who it's so easy to get started, but it's also easy to like fall in the middle of it. What is your best advice for people who want to join and continue educating themselves, keeping themselves updated in the space?
Yeah, and that's a really great question. So what I see a lot in Build Guild, for example, is there are a ton of, so we started out, I showed the tech stack over there, right? Like it had React, Hardhat, Ethers.js, and some kind of front-end libraries as well. But there are like other groups which are creating like a Foundry version, and then there are like I think there are like a lot of Telegram groups creating like specific applications, like a Zora starter kit, for example, or I don't know, like making the same kind of starter kit with Foundry. So the way I kind of see it is being involved in these groups and seeing like what is, hyped, like what's being built. And I kind of follow it by hearing what's going on in the Build Guild, if that makes sense. Does that answer the question?
One more question back.
great presentation. If I'm a developer who's just getting into the space, why should I look into building on Ethereum and not one of the many other projects that are probably giving away a lot of money or whatnot? Like why first go to Ethereum?
Exactly. So that's a really good question as well. So this is like a free open source curriculum. You don't get paid to like complete speedrun Ethereum up to that point as well. And so just to be clear, like it is, you can deploy to any network that's EVM based as well. But in my mind, so when I started last year, I saw like a lot of developer communities in that ecosystem and found the tools over there. Like I know there are like other ecosystems like creating developer education and content as well. But I found like this really resonates with what I was looking for. So that's why I went to that path, and I saw like, okay, there are like opportunities for me to like also create developer content, which was like, I think this year it's 10x compared to last year. So there wasn't like developer content last year from what I kind of came in as like a complete no one who was interested in the technology before. So it was kind of like more following the developer communities, and I think the others are also building cool stuff, by the way. It's not that I just am more involved here and I don't really know about the other side.
If you're getting into Web3 like fresh, just first start with Ethereum. You know, like I'm working on another project, so I hope my word holds some weight. There's so many other stuff that the other projects can figure out. Ethereum is like leaps and bounds ahead. So if you value your time, start building on Ethereum, and then you can graduate to other stuff. You know, over time. So thank you, Eda, for sharing all the content.
I know we've had a lot of talks before lunch. We really appreciate your patience in making it here with us. We've got 4 more talks left after lunch. We now have a 1-hour lunch break. And we just thank Eda again for a lovely talk.